Hey everybody, I'm Scott with Starkey Family, Fixing and Rigging Up. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure your notifications are turned on. That way you get notified when my next video comes about. Now in this particular video, I'm going to show you how to diagnose a bad clutch fan on the front of your engine. But before we go into that, I want to make everyone aware of the danger of this, okay? Because if you have a bad fan hub, it can go wrong really, really quick. Now, a lot of times when you're driving down the highway, your fan hub will not be engaged, okay? Most of the time, it will be engaged when you're climbing a hill. When the temperature comes up on your engine, normally around 200, 210 degrees, that is when your fan hub will actually activate. And I'll show how that actually works and the process on it. But if you're driving down the road and your fan is engaged on flat ground, for example, your temperature on your gauge on your dash is not high. You're running around 160, 180 on your temperature. And it stays on 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, or just does not shut off at all. Well, your fan hub most likely is going bad. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you other things that can cause your fan hub not to work. But what I'm actually going to get at on this is, if your fan hub quits working and is actually malfunctioning, this is actually the fan hub unit itself. I want you to keep in mind, there's bearings, there's clutches, there's a lot of actual little parts inside of there that can malfunction. Well, if you start having a vibration from it, if it starts getting really loud, if your fan hub stays on and it actually is bad, I would tell you to try to get your truck home as soon as you possibly can. Or if you're a company driver, get it back to one of your terminals or go to a garage, okay? What happens is when your fan hub goes bad on most of these trucks, it just continually wears. It wears. A lot of times it'll get to the point where the fan hub will separate and blow apart. Now, when it blows apart, your fan will go straight into the radiator and destroy your radiator. It will shatter, no matter if it's plastic or if it's a metal fan. It will shatter. It will go through your hood. It will destroy everything on the front of your engine, basically. Okay? The next thing bad about that is, let's just say you're parked at a truck stop or, you know, anywhere that your truck's going to be idling. You could be getting fuel. Well, if that decides to self-destruct at that point in time, you could have sections of metal from the blades or sections of plastic blow through the hood, escape through the fender wells. It's going to shatter around you, okay? So sometimes it's not that bad. Other times, I've seen some destruction from them that's really super bad. So I want to make sure that everyone knows on this particular video, this is actually a job that is a priority and also a safety priority. So let's go ahead and get this video rolling, and it's time to teach you guys how to diagnose this. Well, first off, I wanted to tell you that a majority of the time when you have problems with your fan hub, it's actually not the fan hub, okay? Now this right here, as you can see, I did replace this, okay? This right here is a air fan hub solenoid. So what actually happens is, when you're driving down the road and your temperature on your engine gets so hot, normally around 200 degrees, maybe 210, somewhere in that area, your truck actually tells this to release air, okay? So air actually goes in here, It's always in here. Well, this solenoid opens up and goes to the black line, okay? So let me show you where the black line actually ends up at. Okay, so what happens is your air line goes to this casing on your fan hub. What normally happens is when you're driving down the road, the breeze coming in through your radiator is enough to cool your cooling system down. Well, if you're climbing up a hill, that's when your fan hub gets activated when the temperature rises so far, normally around 200 degrees or so. And what happens is it cuts off the air. Okay, that's your solenoid. It cuts off this air line, so no air is coming to this. When no air goes to it, your fan is actually activated. This is the actual default. So if you have a problem with your solenoid and it quits working, your fan hub stays on all the time. And the reason being is that is so your engine does not overheat. Okay? Okay, so getting back to the actual solenoid, when these start to go bad, they can do different things. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So the electrical part inside of them can go bad. These plugs here can actually go bad. So you could actually test this, and one time you test it, it may be working. The next time you test it, it could quit working. So it's one of them deals where you need to just be able to catch it. Okay? Now, this right here is actually the plug. Another way that you can test to make sure that you have electricity coming through is you put a voltage meter on this plug here, and you just make sure you're getting a little over 12 volts of power through there. Okay, it might say 12.5, it might be a little bit over or maybe just a hair under, but it's going to be around 12 volts. If you're getting electricity through this, then there should be no reason why your solenoid is not working. Now, I'm going to show you the next thing that can actually go wrong. Okay, so over here on the passenger side of the truck, this is where my dryer is actually located, the air conditioning dryer. So these plugs can actually go bad. And you can see right here where I've actually replaced this plug a couple years back. So it could be this one here, it could be over here, but just make sure that all your plugs here are in good shape and you're getting voltage. Same thing, you just want to make sure that you catch it on the cycle. Now if you pull this plug off, your fan should come on and off as you actually, pull it on and off if you catch it on the cycles. Now the next thing is, on the inside of your truck, a lot of trucks have this. Mine did not come equipped from the factory like this, but a lot of times you'll find a switch on the dashboard where you can manually turn your engine fan on and off. Basically all it's doing is it's just activating this solenoid, turning it on and off. Okay, but like I said, my truck was not equipped from the factory with that. So if yours does have it on there, then it'll be on the dashboard with your other switches and you'll know what it is because it'll be labeled fan on it. So if that switch actually goes bad, that can then eliminate the power to your solenoid. So those are the things that I would tell you to actually look at first. Okay, now here is the most obvious one of all of them. Build up air pressure on your truck. Make sure you're over 100 pounds of air so you can tell. Shut your engine off. Then walk outside, reach in, turn your ignition switch on. Do you all hear that air coming out of the air hub right now? That means it's bad. Do you see this right here? It blew the cover off the back of it. Now turn your ignition switch off. And as you see, what that did was that just turned your solenoid on and off. But like I said, if you have air coming straight through, your clutch hub is gone. You may be like, well, I want to go ahead and drive the truck until I can save up some money and replace the fan hub. We've all been there. We've all had to wait till that next paycheck comes. But I want you to be aware of, and this can happen on any engine, okay? Once the fan hub goes bad, you can have bearings go bad, you can have clutches go bad. There's several things that can go bad inside there. Without warning, your fan hub can literally blow apart, okay? So when you start seeing signs of things not working properly, or they're getting like really loud, or a vibration from it, or anything like that, you need to put that on your top priority list to be replaced. If your fan hub explodes, it's going to take out everything in your engine compartment. If you're climbing a hill and you have it at like really super high RPMs, your fan's going to come off, go through your radiator, blow apart. It can shatter your hood. It could blow up all kinds of stuff in your engine compartment and cause a lot of serious damage. Now, I wanted to let you know, a new fan hub for my particular truck cost me $1,045. Okay? So, that is a lot of money. But, if it explodes, this is your livelihood. This could actually take out maybe $2,000 or $3,000 worth of items. So I just wanted to make you aware of what actually happens when you let them go too long. I'm Scott with Starkey Family, Fixing and Rigging Up. I hope you learned something. I hope this video has helped you out. You all take care. Have a good night. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.